Hi everybody, so this is going to be the last part of lab 3.4, which I also have been calling 3.3. It's okay, it's the same thing, but here's the last part. So this chart is what we've been filling in, working through. You should already have star or polygon filled in, a number of sides, but we'll review that again. And as a reminder, 1 through 12, each one of those has a match, 13 through 24, so we'll figure that out as well. All right, so on the chart, as a quick reminder, you should be able to tell if it's a polygon or a star. Number one would be a polygon because all of those are connected on the outer side. There's 24 sides, right? Each dot's connected, so it's 24 sides. We're going to wait on angle measure. I'll explain that in a second. Number two is a polygon. Now, every other dot is connected, so that would be 12 sides. Okay, and then number three, every 3 dots are connected, so that would be 8 sides. And a few people in class realize at this point that there's a pattern. Whenever it's a polygon, all you have to do is take the 24, the total dots, divided by p, which is what you're counting by, so 24 divided by 6, and get 4. And I mean, you can clearly see that number 6 was 4 sides, but that would be the shortcut. Okay, and then 5 is a star. Now, the stars are a little bit different, but again, we realized a shortcut. Every dot is touched, so that's 24 dots. Notice there's 2 sides coming out of each one, so that would be 48, instead of having to sit there and count up and down, up and down, up and down for every one. All right, angle measure. Now, we learned how to do this a while back, but I'm going to show you the process, same thing we did in class. So you can pick any angle on the shape, so I'm picking this angle here. And you're going to draw kind of like the crust of that piece of pizza, if you want to call it that. Then you're going to count the dots. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so it's 16 dots, and we do, each dot is worth 15 points, so I'm going to do 16 times 15, and then you divide that by 2. So it's dots times 15 divided by 2. It's an inscribed angle, so it's half of the arc. Again, we did that in a prior lab a ways back. So 16 times 15 is 240, divided by 2 is 120. So that is where this 120 came from. That was already filled in. Okay, so let's do another one. Number 5. So with number 5, when it's a star, you got to kind of really focus. So I'm going to like pick that one, and I have to follow the side all the way. Now, there are other ways of figuring out what this is. By knowing, like, when it's a polygon, that it's going to be the amount, like p times however many sides minus 2. For the star, there's going to be a pattern, but overall, we just pretty much count them, and that's what a lot of us did in class until we found a pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way around. And again, because I know that there's 5 on each side, this is going to, so 5 and 5 is 10. There's 24 total, so I know that's going to be 14. So 14 times 15 divided by 2. And when you do that, 14 times 15 divided by 2 is 105. So it's 105 degrees. For 4, here we go. We count around, that's 12. So 12 times 15 divided by 2. 12 times 15 divided by 2 is 90. So that's 90 degrees. And we were doing that. So I gave everybody about 10 minutes in class to work on that. And what eventually happened is we shared out our answers. So for number 1, people got 165 degrees. Again, if you count your angle, there are 22 dots around it. 22 times 15 divided by 2. You do the same thing for number 2. There would be 20 dots around it, and you get 150 degrees. And I remind people all the time in class, in math, we're lazy. If there's a pattern and it can save us time, we're going to use it. So someone realized that there is a pattern. Every time you go up on here, this part of the column, you are going down by 15 degrees. So if you look from 4 to 5, we went from 120 to 105, from 105 to 90. So that works there, and then it just worked up there again. So we verified that that in fact does work. So that means that this would be 135. And then the 120 follows. Everything follows from there. 90 minus 15 is 75 degrees. And And you can keep filling that in. I'm going to wait to fill it in until we get to the next part of the video. But so you would have all of that. So 75 degrees, actually I'll just keep doing it now. 75 degrees minus 15 is going to be 60 degrees. Sorry, I almost wrote 50. 60 degrees. 60 degrees minus 15 is going to be 45 degrees. 45 minus 15 is going to be 30 degrees. 30 degrees minus 15 is going to be 15 degrees. And then we get to 0. We'll talk about 12 in a second. So that's how we filled in the angle measure part in class with the pattern that we saw. Moving on here to number 7. So 7 again is a star. So that's going to be an S. It's touching every single dot, and remember there are 2 sides coming out of every single dot. So instead of counting, I just will know that that's 48. And then we already have this whole column filled in from before. 8 and 10. 8 is definitely a polygon with 3 sides. 10 is a star. If you notice, it touches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dots. And again, there's 2 sides coming out of each dot. So that would have 24 sides. I just realized I didn't fill that in all the way here. Okay. And then for 9 and 11, 9 is a star, so is 11. I just put that in the wrong spot when we switched slides. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. So there was 8 and 10. 10 was what we got 24 for, and that was a star. Okay, so 9 is a star. Now 9 is on 8 of the dots, so 8 times 2 is 16, because again, every dot produces 2 sides on the star. And then 11 touches every single dot, and that would make it 48. 12 is the different circumstance because you don't actually get a polygon or a star, you just get a straight line. So it doesn't have any sides, and then you can either put 0 degrees or 180 degrees here. I'm fine with either one because really it's a semicircle, so that's a 180-degree angle in the center, but I'm fine with either 180x or 0 based on the pattern. From here, we figured out which one matched. So people said, like, okay, when I did 8, it matched with 16. Other people said when I did 1, it matched with 23. I had a few other people give some examples of ones that they found that matched. And then we found a pattern. So we realized that as the numbers go up, so 1 through 12, going the opposite way, the numbers go the opposite. So 13, 14, 15, that was one of the ways people noticed it. Another way people noticed the match was that 1 through 12, they have to add to 24 with their match. So for instance, 23 plus 1 is 24. 22 plus 2 is 24. 21 plus 3 is 24. So they realized it a few different ways. So I'll get those all filled in. So those are all your matches. 12 and 24 are kind of the outliers because 24 is just a single dot. And then we had a really good discussion about why that works. And what we came to find out, it's the distance from this point at the top. So if you always start counting there, if you think about it, 1 is going to end up here, whereas 23 is going to end up there. For 8 and 16, let me try those. I'll do those in purple. So if you count 8 from here, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You end up right there on that circle. If you count 16 from there, you end up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. Okay. What I'm pointing out is that the distance from that middle point is the same. It's 8 dots on this side, 8 dots on that side. When you do 4 and 20, you end up, again, 4 dots away on one side, 4 dots away on the other side. So people ended up realizing that that's why the pattern actually works. It's the distance from that center. And that was pretty much the whole lab. There were some discussion questions. Everybody had to pick letter D, and then you had the option of what to do from there. So I will show those next. So again, everyone had to choose letter D, and that's just the patterns that we found while filling out the table. So we just talked about a lot of those. And then you had to do 5 total, so D and 4 more. Really quickly, the word regular, as a reminder, means all the equal sides and all equal angles. The pattern blocks are going way back to the beginning of the year when we had the hexagon, the rhombus, all of that. If you have questions on those, just send me a chat and I can send you a picture of them if you don't remember. But you have to pick 5, but letter D must be one of them. So you can pick any 4 after that. So that is it for Lab 3.4 Part 3, or whatever part we're on. Have a great day. Bye.